Okay, so there's definitely a situation in which you have to defend yourself here. And I do sense that Cancers, you are always the person fighting for the underdog. And I do sense that for a lot of you, there is definitely an injustice in which you feel like everyone's on the bandwagon and they're potentially doing the wrong thing. So you are standing up for whoever it is. You could also be in a situation where you feel wrongfully attacked and you're standing up for yourself. And I do feel as well that this is a situation where, regardless of what people say, they're not going to have any sway on the way you feel, the way you think, or the things that you're going to do. Okay, so despite the opposition, you're going to do whatever it is that you want. So this is a very beautiful energy. It indicates to me someone who is not afraid to speak up for themselves. However, in this environment, I do sense that, because you are a water sign and you intuitively know, you have this moral compass where you intuitively know what's right, what's wrong, or you intuitively know what it is that you want to do. So crossing it is this Queen of Swords, which is potentially you not voicing your opinion, or you at least you're not voicing it in a way where others are having trouble understanding why you're doing what you're doing, and they feel like you're just being stubborn. But in fact, you are emotionally invested in, there's a purpose to your actions, basically. In the past position, we have the Empress, and the Empress indicates to me definitely this can be a situation that is related to pregnancy. This can be a situation where it's like the acquisition of land, wealth, people. Okay, so once again, the energy is echoing through in that in the past, you've had a lot of abundance, a lot of good luck, and a lot of prosperity. So as a result, you feel like, okay, I'm very confident that what I'm doing is the right thing. And luckily, you're actually on the right track, because what's coming in is the wish card, which is, wish being fulfilled here. Whatever it is that you feel you have a very intuitive knowledge about, I do sense that you're definitely on the right track. And as a result of it, I do feel that the opposition that's coming through is there to test you, okay? Is there to question, or at least poke holes in whatever it is that you poke holes in your theory, so that you can refine it, so that it can withstand this whole Mercury in retrograde period. Okay, so you have to be firm, and you have to not relent or acquiesce to the opposition. All right, in terms of what's crowning you here, we have the Ace of Coins. So a lot of you are dealing with this situation in a work environment where you have a great idea for income generation, and people are just like, no, that's too much of a risk. So you want to be a little bit careful, but at the same time, I do feel that in the past, you were doing things your way and you were able to achieve a lot of prosperity. So moving forward, whatever the initial condition is, people are warning you against it, but that's the thing. They don't know your capabilities. And because you're not somebody that is boastful, that shows off, that is arrogant, or that even voices your opinion, you're not somebody who does that. So I feel like they're kind of in the dark as to your true potential. Okay, so I do sense as well, for those of you looking for funding assignments and things like that on a particular project, it is going to come through. However, I do feel it's going to come through with the Nine of Cups. However, the amount, especially financial investment or initial financial payoff, is going to be less than you anticipated, okay? And I do sense as well that the actual, the time period in which this financial payout is being discussed is going to be delayed to the time that it actually gets paid out to you, okay? So there's a little bit of delay when it comes to communication, but not to worry. You have a lot on your plate. I do have the Nine of Cups, which indicates to me as well emotionally fulfilling projects coming through, and the World, which indicates to me everything is opening up for you. The blockages are being cleared. Oppositions are disappearing. They're going back into the woods, or at least they're pestering other people. So you have quite a bit to catch up on, and quite a bit to choose from. So it's a very, very good energy. And your hopes and fears position, we have the Two of Swords, which indicates to me like a little bit of possibly indecisiveness, stagnation on your end. It's also being corroborated by the King of Cups, because after having fought the hard fight, you're kind of like inundated with a lot of options, and you don't know what you want to do and how you want to proceed forward. Okay, so that's the only danger I'm sensing for the next 2 weeks. And I do feel a little bit of a stalled energy here with the Hangman in the upright position, excuse me, which indicates to me taking some time off and examining a situation from a different perspective. Okay, however, the outcome here as well is the Sun card, which indicates to me as well that there is going to be help coming through for you in the form of another person. And I do sense, especially news is coming in, is getting delayed, but ultimately the other person is going to follow through and not renege or on their promises or even their responsibilities towards you. Okay, so in a love sense, I do feel that a lot of you are involved either with a fire sign with the Page of Wands here, or with the an air sign. Fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. The air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I do feel that there's a lot of communication with this air sign, and there might have been situations where you didn't voice your opinion very clearly with this air sign, and so they're kind of like left in the dark, and they don't really know where they stand with you. They know that I do feel there's a lot of love and emotional investment here with the Nine of Cups, but I do sense that, communication styles definitely are lacking. There's also a situation where you are trying to build up your empire. You took a break from the relationship. You went empire building. You went off on your own to accumulate wealth, to accumulate prestige, and to achieve more financial abundance. You're coming back through and you're presenting this gift of financial abundance to this air sign. And, things can definitely rekindle for the two of you. However, money was never an option to begin with, okay? So it shouldn't be what's crowning you. What's crowning you should be the Nine of Cups, which is, thinking about that love relationship, okay? So that's why the energy as the outcome here is shifting your perspective, focusing on the things that really matter to you rather than the financial prosperity, because I do feel that by the end of this month you're going to realize the really important things in life. It's not about the money. It's not about the financial windfall. It's just about being there for the other person. And, it's about having the other person by your side no matter what, like through thick and thin, because that's a good indicator of whether or not they're in it for in the relationship with you for the right reason. For those of you who are dating and dealing with like a fire sign, I do sense that the fire sign's a little bit flaky and a little bit young as well. And what I mean by that, like flaky, is that there is also a situation where their dating world, their dating environment is opening up. So they're kind of debating their options at this present moment. So, you might not get like a clear, concise, definite answers from them. So there is definitely a period of waiting in the works between you and a fire sign. So this is something that you want to be patient about, because I do feel that you're kind of wanting a lot of momentum, because you gain a lot of ground in the past, and now that you're kind of like in a good position, and you feel like plans are being stalled right now, but it's actually to slow you down and to really re-examine things, and to re-examine what is important to move forward with right now, this air sign or this fire sign, or to reassess like what is missing in your relationship, if it's lacking in passion and things like that, how you can cultivate that or re-inject passion into the relationship as well. Okay, so Cancer, it looks to be a very, very romantic, but also an enlightening time period for you. And I do feel that this Mercury in retrograde energy is actually very conducive to actually shifting your paradigm, seeing things from another party's perspective, especially if you've been dealing with somebody that you just really butt heads with. It's going to clear up some communication mishaps, and it will also allow a new channel of communication to come through for you. So the important thing here is to stay very, very grounded, because you're showing up in the reverse position, which can indicate possibly, once again, placing emphasis importance on the wrong things, okay? You want to be with the people that make you, that are emotionally supportive, that make you happy, and that you can see a successful future with, okay? So plan things out a little bit more long term. Don't gravitate towards someone because of your emotional pull towards them. If they're like unstable, if they're not emotionally supportive for any reason, it's really important to, I feel like it's an important month for a lot of you. So you want to forge ahead with a little bit more purpose, excuse me, with a little bit more of a long-term planning as to who is really right for you, and to seek things that bring you stability and emotional fulfillment, okay? Because I feel like with the King of Cups reversed, the Hangman reversed, you're lacking in a foundation. So you want somebody that can provide that foundation for you. Not that you can't do it on your own, but I do sense that you want to gravitate, or at least bring on board, the people that can give you that sense of groundedness, and that can give you that sense of reality check too, when you're like floating around and you're formulating plans without any real power of manifestation in the real world, okay? So move forward with that energy. So I hope you have a wonderful September. It's going to be the rest of the month is going to be quite important for you. So don't keep your eyes on the prize, okay?